All right, guys, guess what?
Rose finally
had her babies. Well, this is Daisy. That's not her baby, but looky, we got twin ewes. I cannot believe how many ewes we got this year. It's unbelievable. Let me put you guys down so we can show you.
Lilacs.
Oh, yeah, Lilac's a perfect one. There.
Yeah, she's done.
Oh, yeah, she's definitely done.
When did you have them?
Two sweet little baby girls.
Lilac for one of them, I think.
Yeah, which one?
I don't know.
The one that looks like Lily?
Yeah, lilac.
Well, hi, eyes.
What are your name? I think we should keep.
How about Lilac and Lavender?
Oh yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect, girl.
Lilac and Lavender.
Good job.
Hi, eyes. Oh, it's a good mommy. So, on that note, our sheep are finally done having babies for the year. So, I'll be able to tally up the percentages. This is fantastic, though, because now we get to add 2 more ewes to our flock next year. And that means we're going to have 12 ewes to breed next year. So, we are literally doubling. Are we doubling it?
We have 1, 2, 3, 4.
No, we're close to doubling it. Close to doubling it. Oh, and there's a tail.
Oh.
Is that Lily's?
Yes.
It's funny when you're out here and then...
Is lavender?
Huh?
I think it's a good name.
I think Lavender's a good name.
Okay.
It's funny when you're out here and you find their little tails that have dropped off.
She just pushed it.
Oh my gosh, what cuties.
We were hoping for 2 rams.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
figures.
So we wanted 2 rams because I have somebody that is a faithful buyer of our ram lambs for 4-H, and she wanted 3. We only had 2. And also, I was thinking, hi, sweet girl. I was thinking that I wouldn't mind having a lamb for freezer camp, but it's not in the cards. But that's okay because I'm going to be very happy to build our flock, and these girls are just precious.
I wonder if they're pirates.
One could be pirates and one could be Fozzies because so an interesting fact about sheep is that they can have 2 sires to their children or multiples. So each one of these could actually have a different father. We had them in with 2 rams, so it is totally possible.
What was that?
You know, some people's sheep don't let her go back there.
No, she was just back here.
Yeah, but I have the gate open. Some people's sheep are scared of them. Mine are up in my business all the time. Isn't that right? Isn't that right, guys?
Want me to go get the bander?
No, not yet. Well, we could if you want to.
I gotta go find Thor.
Yeah. So, I don't know if you guys caught it, but Miss Eyes has turned into a good mom to Daisy. Haven't you? Yeah. I told her I was going to turn her into mutton if she didn't behave. And apparently she heeded my warning. But look at these lambs. Look how big they're getting. That's Lily right there. And then Daisy's over here. Daisy's a whole chunk. Like, she's literally half the size of her mother. I don't know if you can see with the sun. Probably not. And Daisy's right here. Nope, the sun's glare is too much right now. Oh, you girls are so sweet. Good mommy. Good mommy. Let me take this piece off of you. You don't need that. Good mommy. Oh, yeah. She's never been like the super friendliest ewe, but that's okay. She doesn't need to be. That's a good mommy. Yeah, good mommy. This one's quite possibly the darkest we've ever had. I just love lambs. Building my sheep empire from the ground up. So next year we will have, well, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. And then we're adding, so I'll have 11 ewes next year. Yeah, 11. Which is great. And then hopefully we'll just keep building up because the way we have it now with our rams is we can continue to just add to the flock, and we'll always have an outcross. So it's really, really good this way. We'll never have to like worry about redundancy in our breeding. Now, of course, your mom's leaving you. There. Of course, eventually we will have to get more rams. That's fine. But yeah, this is how we're. Someday I'm going to look back and this is going to be the foundation of our sheep empire. All right, I'm going to band their tails. So I guess I could show you how we do this.
Stompy stomp.
Oh, she doesn't want him in here. So this is the tool that you are most commonly used to castrate. I need to put some WD-40 on here. To castrate your boy animals. Here, let me have one of those bands. These are the little bands that you put on there, okay? So you just put the band on the prongs. I mean, this is pretty simple, stupid. And then you'll open it up. So let me get the baby here. Hopefully Mom won't be too mad. Yes, I know. Don't be running me over. Harley, what's behind you? She's fine. She's right here. And can you see what I'm doing? I don't know if you can or not. Oop. Another baby's right there. Okay. I'm just going to take the little tail. Oop. She's trying to knock you over. And put the band right onto the tail. That's it. There's your baby.
Let's go get the other man.
Did you drop one?
Yeah.
Okay. That's okay. So that's all there is to it. She won't even really know it's there, to be honest with you.
No.
Because she's so new. But Mom's getting upset. That you can see. And then what will happen... I gotta get this baby from out here. Hold on. This way, buddy. There you go. There you go. So what will happen, basically, is that band will restrict the blood flow, and that tail will then just drop off. I like to do it. The earlier you can get that band on, the better, in my personal opinion. Before they get a lot of blood flow into all their extremities and everything. It just really helps the process along. I notice that the tails drop off faster the earlier you get them on. And it's less traumatic for them. Like, not that it hurts, but, it's uncomfortable. So if you put a Band-Aid on your finger too tight, you know how that feeling is. It starts to go numb and everything, so it's an uncomfortable feeling. But I like doing the tails this way. I don't even know if there is another way to do it. But doing the tails like this is super easy because there's no blood, there's no trauma. It's just very easy. Let me go get the other one done here. So now the only animal we have that is... The only animal that we have that is still pregnant, that is ready to have babies anytime, is Kiwi. So we're patiently waiting for Kiwi. And then we wait till end of June, July for Bridget and Solstice. So yeah, everything's going well. I'm up here in the greenhouse. Harley called me down from here because I'm about to put the hinges on this door to fix it. And then build these doors and everything because I don't want the chickens to come in here and scratch up my beautiful beds. And I also got my onion sets. So we're going to plant onion sets in here. I think I'm going to do a couple rows down the middle of this. 2 or 3 down the middle of the big one. And then maybe a row down the middle of each side. And the reason is they'll be ready to harvest hopefully end of May. I will already have my tomatoes and peppers in here. So that'll be fine because the tomatoes and peppers will still be small. They won't grow until after I harvest the onion sets. So that's what we're going to go ahead and we're going to go with that. So I'm going to put you down and I'm going to fix this door here real quick. All right, guys. It is later in the evening. And before we got home and found that Rose had had her babies, we had actually gone to a local little outlet store, if you will. And I picked up some blueberries. Now, we got quite a bit of blueberries for a really good deal, and these are beautiful, and so we decided what we were going to do is make some canned items, and I'm also going to make some blueberry wine probably tomorrow because you have to freeze them to get rid of all the germs to make your wine that's a tomorrow thing. But we wash these blueberries up, and we have 8 cups, which is 4 of the little plastic containers. They're dry pints, and so one of the dry pints is 2 dry cups. So we have 8 cups here, or 4 of those little packages. Also, the recipe that I'm using comes out of the Ball Home Preserving, Complete Book of Home Preserving book. This is on page 80, and it is going to be the blueberry citrus conserves, however you say it. This is going to be really great on toast, French toast, waffles, and also ham and other smoked meats. So this is going to be just delightful, and it's going to be an all-around thing that we can use for all types of different things. Now, when I'm canning, I will tell you, I've had a lot of people ask me questions about canning, so that's why we're doing this video. One of the most important things about canning is having everything ready for you so you can just get going and rock and roll, because once things get started,
Yes.
once things get rolling, it's like you're just a machine. You're just go, go, go. So I have all my ingredients here, aside from my water. I'm going to need 4 cups of water, but we'll get that and put it into the pot. We have the 8 cups of blueberries. I have 1 whole orange, thinly sliced and chopped, 2 small lemons, thinly sliced and chopped, 1 cup of raisins. I go with the golden raisins because I like them, I have them, that was what was handy. And we have a whopping 8 cups of granulated sugar. And the only other thing we need is the 4 cups of water, which we will go ahead and get into the pot over there. In the meantime, on the stove, I have, which I'll show you, I have my flats and my rings for my lids. They're in water simmering, so they're sanitized. I also have 10 8-ounce jars. They're the jelly jars. Now, I always go for a little bit more than what the recipe calls for, because I would rather have too many jars sanitized than not enough. If you don't have enough, then you have to put everything on pause, and it's just a hot mess. For me to sanitize my jars, first I wash them, then I put them on a cookie sheet, and I put them in an oven at 235 degrees. If you put them in there for at least 20 minutes, you're probably golden. I prefer half an hour, or as long as they need to be. So if you start your recipe and you put them in there before you go, you're probably going to be all right. Also, I have my Presto pressure canner on my second stove. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Second stove.
And it is coming up to a boil. These are going to be water bath canned, not pressure canned. However, I still use my pressure canner because it's big enough and I don't have to worry about running out of space. So that's the long short of it. We're going to go ahead and get started on this recipe. So I'm going to take you over to the stove. Alrighty guys, we are at my stove. I have my pot with my water, and this is the rings and lids, like I said before. They're hot. I had already brought them up to a boil, and so now those are just sitting there hot on standby. So we're going to start with putting the water and the sugar in, and we're going to bring that to a boil. Here, you want to put that back over there? We're going to bring this to a boil until the sugar is dissolved. I have my trusty canning book right here. So we're going to just go ahead and bring this to a boil until it is dissolved. Alright, we're just coming up to a boil over high heat. And so you want to make sure that your sugar is dissolved, which I would say ours is. And now we're going to add the oranges, maybe. Careful, careful, careful. You don't want to.
Yeah, that would hurt.
Yeah.
Go back.
Here, put that in the sink, honey. And the lemons. So just try to not splash, because boiling sugar is not a fun time. Ask me how I know. And that can go as well. Okay, so we put our lemons and the oranges and the raisins, and your house is about to smell amazing. So we're going to bring this back to a boil. Oh, it smells so good. We'll bring this back to a nice boil, and we're going to reduce our heat to medium, and then we're going to boil that for 5 count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 minutes. And then we'll be right back. Okay, it's been 5 minutes and we're cooked down. So we're going to add the blueberries in again, very slowly, very carefully, careful. All right, in we go. Stick that over there. Now you're supposed to turn it back up to high, and we're going to boil it for 5 to 10 minutes, and then you're going to check for gel stage, which I will show you how to do. But while we're cooking this down, I have a saucer in the freezer to get nice and cold so that we can check for gel stage. Because what you want to do is once you cook this down, you take the saucer out, you put a little bit on there, you stick it in the freezer for another minute, and you run your finger through it, and that's how you check. So I'll show you how to do that once we get there. But right now, we're just cooking, and this is what it looks like. Okay, at this point, I need to point out the importance of an extra long stirring utensil. Because if you've never made any type of canned item before with fruits and sugars boiling on the stove, it is literally the thing of witch's cookery here. I mean, this is a boiling, bubbling cauldron of hot lava, and it will reach out and touch you, and it will sting, and it will leave a mark. Again, ask me how I know. So a long stirring utensil that you can keep your hand as far away from the pot is essential. Just trust me. One more thing that I want to mention on this is, please, if you are going to do anything like this, stay with it. Stir it constantly. Do not walk away, because you will create the biggest sticky disaster that you've ever experienced in your life.
How do you know that?
Experience. That's how I know that. Now, I just realized something as I'm cooking this and as I'm stirring it. I finally got to the 10 minutes, and I think that I'm going to let it go an extra 5 to 10 minutes because I doubled the recipe. And I want to make sure that I actually get to a gel stage. So I'm going to go ahead and cook it for an extra amount of time. You can see how the color has changed. You see how it's really bubbling? That's why I got my hand way up here. Scary. Okay, so we're going to check for gel stage now. As you can see, I took it off the heat and it's calmed down quite a bit. We put this on a plate that was in the freezer, and I put a little bit on that and put it in there for a minute. And if you go like this and it kind of wrinkles up, it's reached gel stage, and it is kind of wrinkling up.
I think it needs to go a little longer.
Yeah, maybe just a little. Oh man, it tastes good though. So we're going to go ahead and put it back on the heat.
Can you put this back in the freezer?
For a couple more minutes. No, well, yeah, put the plate back in the freezer. But the flavor is definitely all there, so I'm just going to bring this back up to boil for about 5 more minutes, and then we'll be back. Okay, here's the newest one, and I don't know if you'll be able to see or not, but if you push it up, it kind of wrinkles a little.
Catch it?
Mm-hmm. See how it kind of wrinkles? So I think it's ready to go. So we'll get all set up and then we'll show you what we do. Okay, so we are at our next phase. I have a paper towel with some white vinegar on it to wipe the rim. We have our can lifters. We have our little magnet. We have our bubble debubbler. Yes, we have that. We need this too.
This section is huge.
Yeah. All right, let's do it. So this recipe calls for a 1/4 inch of headspace. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. That's good. Let me double check. Make sure it's a 1/4 inch. So this does have measurements on. I don't know if you can see. So we just like to make sure that it's at least a 1/4 inch from the top. This is more like half, so that's fine. We probably could add a little bit more in it, Harley. Okay. Add more to the next one. That's fine. And I don't think there's any bubbles, but we're just going to go around to make sure. And
what's that?
huh? Yeah, it's good. I don't want to put that there.
Good.
Put it on the cookie sheet. Yep, that's good. And then we just give it a wipe with the vinegar. And that's it. Now you want to make sure you put it on finger tight. You don't want to really crank down on it. And then we're going to lift it up and we're going to put it here in our pressure canner, which I will show you guys here in a minute. We're going to get the rest of these filled and then we'll be right back. All right, we got them all in here, all 10 of them. Hope I don't drop the phone in there. They're all spaced. You see we have plenty of water on top of them. So now I'm just going to put the lid on, and when the steam comes out, hold on, let me show you. Hold on. There he is up here. So how you water bath with your pressure canner, this is how I always do it. So you put it on there, but you're not going to put your weight on the chimney here. So when you see a steady stream of steam come out, and this, well, it's already kind of boiling. See, it's already, this little guy back here is already popped up because we're already boiling. So when you see a steady stream of steam come out of here, you're going to set your timer for 15 minutes. In 15 minutes, you just turn the heat off and you wait until everything calms down. Wait until this little guy back here goes back down. Wait till there's no more steam. Then you can take the lid off, wait 5 minutes, and then we'll pull them out. So we'll show you when we have done all of that. Okay, so I know I was going to mention my second stove. Here it is here. This is also a chest freezer and my dehydrator. This is a funny story. So I never intended to have a second stove. What we have is a cooktop, which is right there. And then I have a double wall oven over there, and that's what I've had for forever. Jeff, again, is a plumber, and he was doing some plumbing work in this lady's house, and she had just bought the property, but she didn't like the appliances that were there, and so she asked him if he knew anybody that needed a stove. This stove was brand new, had all the stickers on it, everything. She never used it. It wasn't high enough quality for her. So he said, sure, I'll take it home. And he brought it home with the intention to just like put it on the marketplace real cheap and let it go. But then he forgot that he was married to me, and I'm kind of like a hoarder with things like this. So what happened is we got a free stove that we could have given away or whatever, but I actually had a legitimate need for it because this cooktop over here has the microwave on top, which is fantastic. It's the thing, you know, everybody has one. But do you see how tall this pressure canner is? When I have it over there, I have very little room between the microwave and the top of this pressure canner. And so having this over here with nothing above it gives me a whole lot more room. Plus, I have a staging area now. This allows me to cook on this, can here, and stick it in here. So it's like a conveyor belt system. It works out really, really great. So I'm really fortunate that we have this. I'm really, really thrilled that Jeff knew people that was able to put the extra outlet in here. That way I could have the second stove. I mean, it's awesome to have a second stove, especially when, you know, for the holidays too, because I cook a lot. So it's really great to have this second stove. So that's the story of how the second stove came about, and it works out great for canning. All right, guys. So I have 10 jars. I just pulled out. They're already starting to seal. We also have 2 pint jars, and that's because we had too much to fit in the little jelly jars, even though I did 2 more than what the recipe called for. See, that's why you always have to add more jars. But we'll just use these. We didn't throw these in the canner. We'll just use these. We'll let them cool down. We'll put them in the refrigerator straight away. And then we'll just use these within the next month or so. This stuff, I know you can't really see it, but it is absolutely gorgeous. I'm not going to pick up these guys right now, but I'll get you a little bit closer so you can see. Whoops. Trying to move the tripod here. All right. Can you see how pretty they are with the peels of the citrus in there? Absolutely gorgeous. So that's going to do it for tonight. what we're going to do is just let these sit overnight. Tomorrow morning we're going to come out here and we're going to take the bands off. So you just have the flats on there. They'll all be sealed, but you want to make sure they're completely cool before you do that. And then I'll just write on there what it is and the date, and onto the shelf it can go. And we will have delicious blueberry conserve until we use it all, and then I have to make it again. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you try this recipe. It is absolutely wonderful. It's absolutely delightful. It's going to be so good on French toast and stuff like that. So I hope you try this. I hope you enjoy the video, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.